Oh yeah, the confession that I was gonna say earlier. So I have a confession to say, and it's about VTuber agencies, by the way. So I was looking at other VTuber agencies, I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm already going all out in all of this VTubing stuff. So if I were to be in a VTuber agency, which one would I be? Hololive, Niji Sanji, or VShojo? So these were my three like go-to options. Here's what I think about all of them. Be careful, sometimes they don't help and take your money. I will say my answer after I explain all of them. Hololive is mostly focused towards Japanese VTubers, so I don't think I'll be a good fit in there. Niji Sanji is just... Listen, man, we don't talk about Niji Sanji, okay? That VTuber agency has gotten in a lot of trouble already, and I've already gotten into a lot of trouble in the past. I don't want to get into any more trouble at all. That's just what I'm gonna say about Niji Sanji. And then there's VShojo, which is where some of my favorite VTubers are. My answer to which one of these would I pick if I were to make it big as a VTuber, my answer is absolutely no one. The reason as to why, it's because I want to have full creative control over my stuff. So I'm gonna remain indie. If I remain indie, that means I can call all the shots that I do on everything on my streams and stuff. To be honest, I want to build my following by myself. It's okay to have sponsors and all that stuff. I don't mind that. But to work out for an agency, where they manage all your stuff and all that, I don't like that. Ever since I was a kid, I hated when people touch my toys. People literally touch my action figures and all that. I really hated that. And I feel like that carried all the way now as an adult, where I hate people managing my stuff when I can manage it myself. Oh. Much, kurisu desu. What do you mean what happened with Iron Mouse? She what? Nah, brother, you're tripping. Alright, let me find out if it's true. Oh, I guess so we're not tripping at all, huh? Alright, let me just take a look at this real quick. What the fuck? I'm afraid to say my gut was right. Hello everyone, how are you doing? My name's Kurisu, and what the hell is going on with 2025? I swear that 2025 is such a cursed year for VTubers. First you have the Cinder situation, then you got Gargura leaving Hololive, and now you have this. What the fuck? Here's the thing, chat. As many of you already know, I mean, since it's everywhere at this point, Iron Mouse left VShojo because VShojo honestly owed a lot of money, not just to the Immune Deficiency Foundation, that was 500k, brother, but they also owed money to Iron Mouse herself. And the worst part about this is that this is the foundation that helps people like Iron Mouse, meaning that they can find treatments and, if God allows it, maybe even a cure for immune deficiency. But unfortunately, with this that happened, yeah, you know what's gonna happen to VShojo now, or at least what happened to them. So the era's already cleared in this whole situation. Everybody is already moved on at this point, and everybody lived happily ever after. And in the case of the Immune Deficiency Foundation, the community, strong as always, managed to get double the amount that VShojo owed to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Pretty all fine and dandy, right? Okay, that's cool and all, but today, I want to see what exactly happened with VShojo, and I want to take a look at the autopsy today. I want to see exactly how did this whole fiasco started. How did I somehow knew something was wrong with VShojo because my gut was right. Like all the shit that they did, and then I'm gonna provide my very own opinion, how I felt about the whole VShojo situation. Let me change my screen so that I have something more presentable to you people at home. That's better. So, For those of you who do not know, Iron Mouse was none other than VShojo's top streamer. My first rule of thumb is, how are you going to treat Iron Mouse, the biggest VTuber on your team? How are you gonna disrespect her like that, bro? The thing about VShojo and Iron Mouse is that whenever you think about VShojo, the first thing that comes to mind was Iron Mouse at the time. Hell, it doesn't help that they both share the same color palette as well. Now it all comes down to what happened afterwards. Before all of this fiasco started, I knew there was something wrong at VShojo. I don't know why, but I kind of felt that in my gut. First, it was Matara getting, I don't know if it was she got fired or that she just left the company, but I know that Matara was the first to leave. Soon after, both Giga and Zentreya both left VShojo. And keep in mind, all of this happened around the same time as well. I even posted a tweet about it because I don't know what is it, but I felt that something was off with VShojo. I was like, wait, what the hell is going on at VShojo? First Matara, then Giga, and now Zen. All in consecutive order, mind you. Like almost in the span of the same month, which is crazy. It's absolutely wild. Then, that's when Iron Mouse drops the video, and it is crystal clear what exactly happened with VShojo. The fact that they owed a ton of money to the Immune Deficiency Foundation, and also they owed money to their talents. What the f? So, exactly what happened. Gunrun, the CEO of VShojo, he actually made a letter, which I am going to provide you guys because I have a copy of the letter, and let me tell you all, it is filled with blatant lies left and right. Here's what the letter says. VShojo has failed and I've mismanaged the company into the situation you're all witnessing. So today, I am sharing the difficult news that VShojo is shutting down, and I take full responsibility for the decisions that led us to this point. I've been doing everything I can to fundraise and right the ship these past few months. But despite my efforts, we are in a worse position, and those I care about are now paying the price. Over the past few years, we've raised around 11 million to pursue a bold, talent-first approach in VTubing, prioritizing creators and community over short-term profits to achieve long-term sustainability. Our funding went directly to our creators through generous splits, debut investments, infrastructure, concerts, events, and staffing, all designed to support them. We also wanted talent to own their IP, which we knew was a unique creator-first approach for an agency. However, despite our efforts, the business failed to generate the revenue we needed to sustain that model, and eventually, we ran out of money. Additionally, I acknowledge that some of the money spent by the company was raised in connection with the talent activity, which I later learned was intended for a charitable initiative. At the time, we were working hard to raise additional investment capital to cover our costs, and I firmly believe, based on the information available to us, that we will be able to do so and cover all expenses. We were unsuccessful in our fundraising efforts. I have made this decision to pursue funding, and I owe its consequences. I am deeply sorry to all the talents, staff, friends, and community members who believed in our brand. You did not deserve this, Justin Gunrun. This entire statement is nauseating. I'm gonna be honest with you all. This is the type of statement that you say when you know you've been caught. There's no other way around it. That's literally the type of statement that this is. It's absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, I did not believe a single word that this statement has, and I have my reasons as to why. It's because a lot of shady shit was already happening on VShojo. What also happened was that there was an Exerto article that said that another VTuber by the name of Camilla claimed that VShojo was giving hush money to creators after rejecting their auditions, and she also said that VShojo talents had called her in tears many times over neglect from the company, although from VShojo's part this wasn't confirmed. Even though she did explicitly say that when in the final stages of audition, if a VTuber did not make it into VShojo's roster, apparently they gave hush money. But again, This is not confirmed. But what was confirmed was Gunrun blatantly lying on his words. Here, take a look at this, take a look at this phrase from the paragraph from earlier. Additionally, I acknowledge that some of the money spent by the company was raised in connection with talent activity, which I later learned was intended for a charitable initiative. Well, Mr. Gunrun, that's cool and all, but if you didn't know that it was part of a charity, then why did you retweet at some of the posts about raising money for the Immune Deficiency Foundation? That's right, Gunrun was caught red-handed when he was seen reposting posts that Iron Mouse and other creators who were supporting the cause, and it's just all over Twitter. Like, there's no hiding in that, and people have already gathered the evidence from that. It's all over Twitter, and here's some pictures that exemplify that. You have one that Gunrun reposted, which was Ludwig's, congratulating Iron Mouse for beating his sub count. Then you also got one from Iron Mouse herself, saying that the subathon has ended, and Iron Mouse did state that half of the money that was donated in her subathon was going to go to the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which Gunrun also reposted. Then there is another post also from Iron Mouse, which Gunrun also reposted. And then there is a Tiltify one that says, amazing job to CDogVA and the team on passing $1 million raised for the Immune Deficiency Foundation during Cycloton 4. Meaning that the moment Gunrun reposted that post, it was over. Because, keep in mind, this is not just Iron Mouse we're talking about. This is also Connor, CDogVA. But here is by far the most damning evidence that in the end, Gunrun knew exactly who the money was going to. The most damning evidence that there is no point in defending it or hiding it, that he knew that the money generated from those streams was going to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Gunrun standing in front of a banner that says Immune Deficiency Foundation in it. Okay, so you got caught red-handed, and you owe thousands, if not millions of dollars to your talents as well. So, what now? Well, he just decided to shut down the company, that's how. You know what's even sad about all of this? VShojo did this one heinous act, and they just shut down completely. However, if you look at another VTubing company like Nijisanji, they can do this shit on a daily basis and still not get cancelled somehow. Seriously though, at this point, if you're a VTubing company, count your days, bro. You're not gonna last long. Out with the old, in with the new. Indies, the new cool. Yeah, us indie VTubers are the new kids, the new cool kids down the block. But there is also a lot of things that I did not cover. I did not cover stuff like Kayson's meltdown on stream with the Japanese CEO, or the opinion of the other VTubers responding to the whole VShojo situation, or by far extremely heinous freaking Nuxtaku using AI for his thumbnails. Absolute disgusting behavior. But I want to provide you all with one more thing that honestly, it may not be relevant to you all, but I do want to say myself. And what do I think about this whole VShojo situation? Honestly, deadass, I'm going to be 100% honest. When I saw this for the first time, I could not sleep at night. I looked up. The problem why was because I looked up to VShojo. I was like, maybe VShojo may be the only company that actually cares about their talents. Because granted, there is one thing that VShojo did have that is actually good compared to the other VTuber companies, and it's the fact that creators still kept their identity. This is extremely good for a number of reasons. Let's just say you make a new character, right? You have this character that you wanna VTube so badly. It's like your baby, you know? It's like it's you. You see yourself in the mirror despite everything. Yeah, this a-hole right here, that's me. This is me. But then having to make another debut with another different character, it's just it can be dismotivating because you just tell yourself, this isn't me. This is not who I want to be. So what the only good thing I will agree that VShojo did is that it let you kept your VTuber avatar's identity. You did not have to change just to fit their standards like any other VTubing company such as Hololive or God forbid Niji Sanji. Ugh. So that is one of the only good things that VShojo had at the time. And honestly, to some VTubers, that deal is pretty, and honestly, for someone who is looking to be a corpo VTuber with all of these benefits and shit, that's pretty good. In fact, the good thing about this is that Iron Mouse kept her identity through thick and thin ever since she began all the way until today, all thanks to VShojo. If it was another VTuber company, she may have had to change her identity, but fortunately, this did not happen. So, unfortunately, as many things as VShojo did with this whole situation, it's just sad, man. I looked up to them. Even though I will remain indie, and I did say that I was gonna remain indie, I always looked up to them because all of the talents that they had, all of these VTubers, and it was cool seeing them, you know? It was cool seeing them in the same group and all of that. Hell, I was so tempted to get that Iron Mouse skin in Smite as well. But now that this happened, that's all gone. And VShojo not only owns money to the Immune Deficiency Foundation and Iron Mouse, but they also owe money to all of these other talents, to musicians, to artists, to everyone involved in many of their large-scale projects. And my question is, how do you have $11 million and still it up somehow? It's definitely mismanagement from the company. Because I'm gonna hit you guys with one quote that a favorite content creator of mine said, and the quote goes like this: "It takes years to build something worthwhile and only minutes to destroy it." VShojo was looking like the holy grail of VTubing companies out there. You know, oh, VShojo is amazing. VShojo can do no wrong. But in only a couple of minutes, well, the cracks already started to show. And all of these cracks eventually led to the collapse of VShojo. And now it just goes to show that my gut was right again. At this point, I said to myself, you see, this is the reason why I refuse to become a corpo VTuber. This is the reason why I choose to remain indie. This is why I refuse every VTubing company that, or any offer, if I ever receive one someday. Because another thing about me is that I want to be known for me, you know? I don't want to be known as Kurisu from VShojo, or Kurisu from Hololive, or Kurisu from Niji Sanji. I want to be known as Kurisu, you know? I want people to know me for me, not Kurisu from insert corpo here. So, my opinion still stands, even though you guys already saw it at the very beginning of this video. You know what? I'm gonna make an oath with you guys. I'm gonna swear an oath to you all. I, Kurisu, refuse to become a corpo VTuber for the rest of my days until the day I graduate. There, I said it. I swore the oath for all of you at home. So, do I think corpo VTubers are bad? Not all of them may be, but from the looks of it, from what they have shown, most of the time, it always comes with risks. And no VTuber company is safe from its clutches. They always fall into the same trap. Corporate greed and all of these things that seem like a miserable experience to VTubers. I constantly keep hearing from Niji Sanji that some of the gifts that the fans give to their talents are confiscated somehow. Which is sad. I get it, you know, their security and all that, you know, managing your talent to check if nothing is counterfeit or nothing has a tracker on it. But just refusing to have the gifts that your fans give you, it's just sad. And it's not like they check the gifts and then they give them to you. Oh no, it's just that, oh yeah, you can't receive any gifts. It's just horrible, and I don't want to be a part of that. I really do not want to be a part of corporations and people who manage my stuff. And let's be honest, would you like to be a part of a group of suits who manage pretty much everything that you do in your VTubing career? These guys usually choose your schedules, which events to participate, and scary enough, manage your money. And keep in mind, the money that they own to the Immune Deficiency Foundation, that was not like just a small amount. This is life-changing money, by the way. $500,000 is life-changing money, meaning that those $500,000 could have saved a lot of lives or accelerate the pace to finding a cure, if possible, of course. But with that, then, you know, VShojo just is another VTubing company that just ceases to exist. And before I go, I'm just gonna say this. Niji Sanji, count your days. Because if VTubing companies keep doing this yeah, I think Niji Sanji is gonna be next on that list. Let's be realistic. But that is all I got for today. That is all for today's video. I'm sorry if I had to interrupt what video I was gonna do first in order to bring this rant, but honestly, I just had to get it out of my chest because it just, as a VTuber, knowing that this happened, it hurts. You know, it literally just hurts, and I don't want to see VTubers going through this whole ordeal. I don't want to see other VTubers see and go through what Mayoshi did. You know, I don't want anyone to go through that, myself included. But that is it for today, and I will see you guys next time. If you're a VTuber, my opinion, stay indie. You don't need these VTubing companies. You're better off being yourself at the end of the day, and honestly, it's better this way. Risu signing out.